What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every single day with Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and now towards the end of the video, we take a look at Dow Jones Industrial Average also, which I think plays a big part in it. Definitely stick around. You don't want to miss this. And don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's a great community, and let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. There is a disclaimer scrolling down the bottom. Make sure to read it. And also remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Make sure you do your own due diligence. So let's take a look at the news headlines real quick to get a feel for the sentiment. A perfect storm is brewing for Bitcoin price. The Bitcoin price is known to be extremely volatile over a short term, but the past couple of months have been particularly a wild ride. Bitcoin volatility reached a 6-year high in March. 3 options for traders as Bitcoin price is on the verge of a big move. Bulls beware, Bitcoin could dive after this key technical. Former hedge fund billionaire picks Bitcoin over gold. Bitcoin's on fire. So it's looking pretty. There's a little bit of bearish and bullish in the news. Let's look at the crypto fear and greed index. We're at 22. We raised 1 from yesterday. So we're still in extreme fear. All right, let's take a look at the monthly. We are still getting rejected on this top of this channel here, and which is also the 21 EMA, and that is right around the 73.10 area. Like I said, I am still bearish. I could be wrong, and I'll show you the higher targets too if I am. But first, I want to remind you guys, check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. There's a link to it in the description below the video. A lot of cool crypto stuff in there. You can put any crypto you want. It doesn't have to be what you see. She can make anything you want on any of these, family pictures, whatnot. There's also long sleeve tees, hoodies, socks, keychains, all kinds of other stuff. Hit her up in the contact if you're interested. Now let's look at the weekly. All right, so in the weekly, we've been watching this closely. I'm going to move this bottom trend line off of here. And I've been talking about this as my absolute worst case scenario at 2,575 area approximately. These aren't exact targets, but that is a trend line coming way back from 2006. I just want you to be aware that that is possible. There's a lot going on in the world, as we all know. Definitely, you know, if you're paying attention, watch yesterday's video too. I talked a little bit about Bitcoin and how it could affect the average Joe in getting into Bitcoin with everything that's going on with people not having a lot of money to spend right now. All right, so let's look at this support and resistance line on the weekly RSI. We had capitulated back here in 2014, popped back above it in 15, got support, came back down, tested for support, got support. 2018, same thing, capitulated past it, broke back above it in 2019, tested it for support, got support, but we did fall back down below it, and now we are above it. I do believe it's a good possibility we come down and do one more test of this line, and that could be our fall that I'm looking at. Let's look at the daily. This is going to be a quick video, as quick as I can make it, guys, but I do want to remind you, I'm going to leave a Bybit tutorial up top if you're interested in trading. There's also some bonuses if you sign up and make a deposit using my link down below. There's also a Prime XBT. If your Prime XBT is good, they're the only 2 exchanges I've been using currently. Prime XBT, you can trade oil, gold, silver, Dow Jones, all that stuff, all in one app with your Bitcoin. So definitely check them out. Both of them have major bonuses for signing up. So anyways, there's other links down there too. All of them help the channel out as I get a small commission for you guys using them. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. We did hit 14,000 subscribers yesterday too. I wanted to put that out there. All right, so what we've been watching here is this rising wedge. As you can see, we are fighting with the 55 EMA right now around that 7,300. It is possible we get a quick push up to around the 75.20 area. And again, this is on the daily. We're on the 75.30. If we are able to break above that and close a 4 hour above it, we could be going as high as 77 all the way up to around the 8,040 range, which is the golden pocket zone that we've been talking about, from the Fibonacci retracement of this whole move. So that is a possibility, guys. But again, I am leaning more bearish here, but do keep in mind that anything can happen here, but I am looking more for a drop. Like I said, it's possible we get a swift move up here, maybe get a wick to, you know, suck some people in for longs and then come back down. But this 72 is most likely gonna be some heavy support. If we can break that, my next stop on the daily here is around the $7,000 range. And if we break that, guys, the next hope for support is around 6,400. And if that breaks, 5,400 is a major support area. And if that's to break, then we look at our measured moves here. First one being a measured move of the break. If we were to break today, this gets raised a little bit now, is around 4,050 to 4,100 range. That's the measured move of this rising wedge from a breakdown. We will take a look at the higher targets too in a minute, but also we could look at this as a flag pull. This being the bull flag or the bear flag right here. Measured move of that's right around the 3,100 range. So let's look at the higher targets now. If we were to break up here today and we break this top trend line, we could go as high as to retest the $10,500 range. I would see some resistance at this trend line here that we broke back in. Let me move this up a little bit. That we broke right back over here. We could come up to retest that, and that being somewhere in the $9,500 range, guys. But again, I don't see it happening. There is a lot of resistance here too at 85, but today is going to be key. And until the support or resistance here is broken, there's really no safe trade in my opinion. Although I am in a short right now still from yesterday. As you can see, we really haven't moved much. Let's look at the RSI. Looking at the RSI, we had talked about this way back here before all this happened, that this could be a possible inverse head and shoulders. And as you can see, that's pretty much what it's looking like. We did break out of this falling broadening wedge right here. Let's take a look at the measured move of that. And yes, you can use measured moves in RSI too. A lot of times they will work out. And if we do that, that brings us all the way back, all the way up to about the 68 on the RSI. But I believe we're most likely going to come down and retest this trend line here that we had it was support or resistance over here. Resistance here, we broke through, tested it, got support, and came up. I believe we're most likely going to come back down and test this one more time, in my opinion. And I'll show you why in the 4 hour. Don't forget, we're going to be looking back at the end of the video. We're going to be looking at the Dow Jones after Litecoin and Ethereum also. But that's what I'm looking at here, guys. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Also, we've been talking about the volume, declining volume while we're in this. That's how we know we are still in this formation. The volume is still declining, and until we get a spike in volume, whether it be we break up and get green volume or we break below this bottom trend line and get red volume. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the 4 hour. I lost my bottom trend line here in the 4 hour. Don't know what happened there. I guess I'll put it back in. Yeah, let's put that back in here. Sorry about that. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I use my app on my phone a lot of times. And don't forget, guys, make sure you give this a thumbs up. It really helps YouTube get the video out there, and you guys have been helping me out tremendously. We've been getting a lot more likes and comments down below. Comments are huge, guys. They really help the channel out. All right, so in the 4 hour, this is what's looking pretty bullish here. But a lot of times these can be a fake out. We have the 55 EMA getting ready to cross the 200 EMA. That should cross by the next candle opening, which would be in about an hour and a half from the time I'm making this video. So let's look at, we've already done our measured moves. They did move a little bit since yesterday because, as you guys know, these obviously are moving trend lines, and it depends on when we break them. Let's I'm missing a trend line here too, guys. Apologize for the little slowdown in the videos. I don't know what happened here, but anyways, let's take a look at that measured move. If we were to break down from here in the next 4 to 8 hours. And guys, I want to explain too, a lot of people when it does break down think that it's just going to be one candle. That's not necessarily how it happens. It could be a slow trudge down. It does not have to be, you know, a huge, quick, swift move. And a lot of times once we break this, we could come back up, test it for support before continuing down. And I'm going to move this up a little bit to 31 to 3200. This makes a lot of sense for it to come down here if we do break, because that would be a stop hunt, which means that if anyone went long here, they would have their stops down below, and this would come down, eat those stops up, and make for a swift move up. Now let's look at the 4 hour RSI. As you can see, I had this rising broadening wedge. We have broke down from and tested it for support. This is one more reason that I am bearish here and believe we're going to come down. That's not to say we can't come up. Test this for support or resistance one more time before coming down. But yeah, like I said, I am bearish here. Let's look at, oh, there it is. This was my 4 hour. I don't know why I had this one in here. But that's going to be the same pretty much like we just talked about. We also had this in the 4 hour. We also have, if you look at this blue line that got here as resistance, and then our yellow line, of course, as support. We also have a measured move to that 6400. If we look at this as a rising channel, it measures up perfectly with the 6400, which is also the 0.382 retracement. Let's zoom in a little bit more. The RSIs we had talked about look like they want to cross here. We are getting support on the 13. We'll see what happens there, guys. Like I said, we could get a swift move up to that 73 or 75.40 area before, you know, coming down. Could get a bull trap, but we'll see what happens until one of these lines are broken. A close of a 4 hour candle above or below will confirm the direction for me. Let's look at Litecoin. Same thing, rising wedge. Let's take a look at our measured moves. Taking a look at this one first, we will take a look at the bullish and the bearish. So if we were to break down in the next 4 to 8 hours, or let's just say today, that would be around the $24 to $25 range, which would also line up with this long-term trend line off of these wicks right here. That would make sense. And then we can look at it as a bear flag, just like we did Bitcoin, and that would get us down to the $18 to $19 range, which would also make sense for a stop hunt for anyone that went long and put their stops down here. Now let's look at the RSI. Another thing, still same thing, you can tell we're still in a formation because the volume is still declining, and until we break either the resistance or the support line here, we're not going to get any volume. We will know and be able to confirm when it breaks because the volume will be huge. That's why I said there will be a massive move, possibly today, but definitely within the next couple days. Same thing over here. We are getting support on the 13 EMA right there. So you could draw a line here and say this is a bull flag. You could do the same thing for Bitcoin. I really don't think that's what's going on, but I could definitely be wrong. If it is, the measured move for that is way up in here. probably around this 0.5 fib, around $55, $54.50 to $55. Again, we could be coming up to retest this trend line here as resistance because it was huge support back here, and that would, you know, could be $57 to $58 range. We also have the golden retracement zone around the 62.50, but yeah, I'm still bearish here, guys. I know a lot of people are bullish, and I see a lot of people saying everybody's bearish, so it's definitely gonna go down. I see way more people bullish and way more people saying that than I do see bearish people. So anyways, same thing in this rising wedge in the RSI. We have broke down. You could move this back like this and say it hasn't broken yet, but I believe it has, and that's another reason I'm bearish here. Let's look at Ethereum. Well, first, let's do the measured move up. We did not do that. If we did a measured move up at the breakup here, if we broke out sometime today, could get us all the way to the 66.50 range, which would also line up pretty damn close with this trend line here off of these wicks over here. So keep that in mind. That is a possibility. It actually would be more like the $63 to $64 range. Possible. I'm still bearish. Again, I can't say it enough. Same thing, the RSI in Ethereum. We had a rising broadening wedge here. We have broken down out of it. This one's a little bit different, but we did break out of it. As you can see here, we've broken down, came back up, tested it for support, and now we are riding right on the top of this falling channel that we had here. We are riding right on that line for support as of now. If that breaks, it's probably going to be swift and big time. All right, let's do the same thing here. We'll take a look at our measured moves, and we'll start out with the measured move of the rising wedge, and a break of that would get us right down to about the 89, right about the 89.63, which would line up. That would be a double bottom. We'll take a look at the bullish here too in a minute, but if we take a measured move now, looking at this as a flag pull, this being a bear flag, then we are looking at, whoops, sorry guys. Then we are looking at a possibility of around the 42 to $45 range, somewhere in down there. Again, these targets aren't exact, but if you make sure you subscribe, I do daily updates every single day. Same thing here. The EMAs look like they want to cross the 200 and the 55, which would be bullish. But keep an eye on it. We will be watching this. Let's take a look at the higher targets here. As you guys know, I also have all the fib retracements marked here. 166, 190, 217, and 248 being the highest I think it would be able to go at the 0.786 fib. But the measured move here for the break up would be around the $240 range. Again, still bearish. This 137 is probably going to be pretty good support. It's at 0.236 fib retracement. So also you can look, volume still declining. There's really been no breakout. So when this breaks, guys, you are not going to question it. You will know. Now let's take a look at the pre-markets for the Dow Jones Industrial, +5. Not looking good. By this time, it's usually up a little bit higher, but we'll see what happens. This is probably going to be a big deal on what goes on here. If you guys have been watching my channel, we have been looking at this. This is on the daily. We had this rising channel here from the resistance, support, which we broke. We had that marked, and we did come up and retest it one more time yesterday and got rejected. I am bearish here, guys. If this breaks, if we're able to break above the 23, about the $23,800 or point range, then we would have resistance up here at the 55 EMA at about 24.4, and the highest I believe this could go would be back up to 0.236 retracement. Actually, it'd be 0.76 retracement of this move, but around 200, the 200 EMA there, and that would be around 26.2. That would be extremely crazy. It is possible. I don't see us getting back above this. We've been talking about it. I know a lot of people said the Dow was going up yesterday, and you know, they were getting super bullish, saying it's going to come back. They're printing tons of money. They'll be able to do it. But if you look at it here, guys, it does not look like that at all. It looks like we got rejected right at the bottom of this channel. And as you guys know, here's my measured moves. If we measure the channel and where we broke down, about 17.2, right in that area, is where I see us going for the next major support. If that breaks, guys, we can look at this top white line as resistance, this bottom pink line as support, and this being a big megaphone. Let's take a measured move there. And right around the 9,200 point range. That's where I see us going if this 17.2 does not hold. And the way things are going, it may not hold, guys. It's not looking good for the economy. Or let's take a look too at this. Let's just go back over here, and you can see that was these 2 points of resistance where this bottom was here. We had like a inverse head and shoulders bottom, and that lines up perfectly with the shoulders of that. So that makes a lot of sense. But let's see what happens. Unless we break the 17.2, I wouldn't be looking for this. But if we break below, and I'll say if we break below 17,000 points, then I would most definitely be looking for the 92. That's not a good sign for the economy, guys. And yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to click CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed for your free updates every single day. Tick that notification bell to make sure you get notified when I post new videos. Smash the like button, guys. Smash them. Let's get 1,000 likes. I know you can do it. Other than that, thanks a lot for watching the video. Don't forget to leave your comments. I'm out.